Welcome back in one of the Bears Football Plays YouTube channel. Today is Friday. It is September 19th. I'm back breaking down some Friday plays. Only going to do one play, one prop. I think I'm going to add a prop onto at the end because the more I look at it, the more I like it. So I'll probably add a prop at the end. And we're going to just go ahead and talk about Oklahoma State and Tulsa now. I'm going to take Oklahoma State. I'm not going to bet it. If you need to decide, I'd lean toward Oklahoma State. They're at home. Tulsa is a wreck, and Gundy's on the sideline for Oklahoma State. So, really good coach. Oklahoma State's not a good team. Tulsa's even worse. I think that's way too many points for Oklahoma State to lay, but if you're going to take it, you might as well take the team who's much better than Oklahoma State minus 11. On last Saturday, we fought and battled. I mean, huge run in the early games, then a disgusting run in the middle and 6:30 games, and then a decent end. So, we are one game below 518 and 19 on the season. We got to try to get ourselves to at least try to get ourselves to one game over 500 going into Saturday because I have 24. I've got 24 game picks that I might just shoot. I might shoot them all, but I've got 24 game picks ready, and that's not counting player props. And I'll probably have 2 or 3 of those, maybe even 4. So we're gonna have a loaded Saturday. Bunch of great Saturday games. But before we do that, Friday, Iowa. They're going on the road to face off against Rutgers, the Scarlet Knights. I'm going to take the Hawkeyes here. Minus 2.5. The line's already moved to minus 2. I'm not worried about it. Scarlet Knights this season, they're 3-0. The wins that they've had, Ohio 34-31, tight game against Ohio, one of the better teams in the MAC. Then they played Miami, Ohio, 45-17. The score on the scoreboard does not reflect how the game was played because that was a 7-point game late in the third quarter. Then Rutgers just put foot on the neck, I guess you can say, for Miami, Ohio. Defense kind of gave up for Miami, Ohio, and then that final score was 45-17. But they were alive in that game late in the third quarter. Then they played Norfolk, beat them 60-10. The offense for the Scarlet Knights is clicking. For the other side, Iowa, the Hawkeyes, coming off a 47-7 win, going up against UMass. Quarterback played a little bit better. He has not been good on the season. Let me make this very clear. The offense for the Hawkeyes will never be good. Probably ever. That's just how they play football. They run and they play great defense. So I'm not too worried about the quarterback play. They lose that game by 3 to Iowa State. We were on the right side of history in that one. Beat Albany 34-7. So they have scored 30-plus points against 2 teams that have been very bad this season, Albany and UMass. The passing game was going a little bit in the last game, and I'm going to take them minus 2.5 because the one thing that does stay the same in college football most of the time, defense travels. Rutgers this season has been very, very good offensively. That's why they're staying in these games, and that's why they're 3-0. That's why they've been able to close the door in the fourth quarter in a lot of these games. They've played 2 bad teams, but especially in that Miami, Ohio game, I think it was 24 unanswered points for them going up against Miami, Ohio. So the offense has been clicking. They've got that transfer from Minnesota. I will say this, Ian Strong, he's going to be back in the lineup for them. He missed the game against, it looks like, Norfolk State due to injury. They also have the transfer, DT Sheffield, out of North Texas. He's going to be my ad for the player prop. I remember watching him last season, 68 catches, 822, and 11 touchdowns for North Texas last year. Also, their best wide receiver and probably their team leader on the wide receivers, I would assume, is 6'6" KJ Duff. So they've got a lot of targets. Running back's been decent this season, but they've been passing the ball a lot. The Minnesota transfers are doing a pretty good job. For the Hawkeyes, it's been ground and pound most of the time. If you're going against a good team, they're probably not going to throw the ball a lot. Maybe a 3 or 4 yard in or out or a hook or a curl or whatever you want to call it for that Hawkeyes defense. But there's not a lot of shots down the field for Iowa. This is going to be a defensive battle. Iowa's won the last 4 games between themselves and Rutgers. Since 2016, they won the last game 22-0. Again, defense for Iowa. Iowa, they ranked 12th this season defensively. They've given up just 207 yards per game, 11.5 points per game. Again, defense. The defense travels. Rutgers showed life in the first 3 games, but I'm telling you, they're not the team. They aren't. History tells us they're not the team. Rutgers has not beaten a top 25 team since 2009. That is 16 years. Last time they did it was against Florida. I'm going to take the defense. It's going to be a disgusting game, but I think if the Hawkeyes can get me 20 points, Get me 20 points against a horrendous defense so far this season, who gave up 31 to Ohio and 17 to Miami, Ohio, who has been atrocious offensively, even though DeQuan Finn came in for Miami, Ohio, hasn't gotten his feet down yet. That defense has been horrible so far. I just need 20 points from the Hawkeyes. We win this one 20 to 17, maybe even 20 to 14, 24 to 17, something like that. -2.5 will be the play. For the player prop, I'm going with Jason Patterson over the 44.5 rushing yards. He has been the lead back for the Hawkeyes over the last 2 games. Double-digit carries in back-to-back games, 44.5 yards. This Rutgers team is not a good defensive team. They just aren't. Plain and simple, 44.5 yards for a team that's probably going to run the ball 30 times in this game. Easy. 44.5 rushing yards. Going to add DT Sheffield over his total catches. Not sure if that's out yet, but I know DT Sheffield's a shifty small guy. He's in that slot receiver spot. And I just think Rutgers 2-minute drill late in the fourth quarter when they're down by 10 points. I think he's going to get a lot of catches over the middle of the field. Let's see if we can find a DT Sheffield line really quick. Props. Receiving. No, it is not out yet. That's okay. We're going to wait on that. I'm going to take the over total catches for Sheffield as the final play. Again, Iowa -2.5. Patterson over the 44.5 rushing yards. Guys, it's going to do it for the NCAA football picks and props for Friday, September 19th slated games. If you guys enjoyed the content, please drop a like this video, and thanks for watching.